Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Let me take that away for a second. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much. Let me say hi to a few people. Uh, Hi, a few people. Okay, well, I said hi to a few people. Okay, let's get on with it. I'm just kidding. Anastasia Isabella was the first. Church Nelly. Hey, Church Nelly. Da 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 da. Now every time I think of Church Nelly, I think of a can. I don't know why. Um, Let me see. Uh, hey Lydia. Connie Balmer. Hey Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for being here. Kathy G. Gwendolyn Daniels, Rodney Jackson, Joan Commonwealth, Lorna Williams, and a host of others. Mabel Jones, Sharon Chung, Lady Bird, Nancy Herlock. Hey, Nancy. Ingrid Soares, Veronica Quick, Novi D, Deidre Meinke. Okay. All right, I'm just going to go all the way through. Make sure there are no super chats or super stickers, and then we'll get started. And since you've already had a quick peek, let me put that back up there. Hey, B10, BW, Hattie Musanga. Let me see, Nancy Foreman. Okay, I'm still scrolling. All right, so there we go. And last, Angela Thomas. Thank you so much. Okay, so as you can see here, now you may feel a little weird about this for some obvious reasons, but let us just stick with the good news, shall we? So, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Archewell Foundation outshines Obama and Clinton foundations in first year. Archewell goes from strength to strength. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, Princess Meghan. I'm tired of that Meghan Markle stuff. She's a princess of the realm, as well as the Duchess of Sussex, and dare I say, a fine humanitarian. According to data released on the foundation website, in the first full year of operation, they reported an incredible 13.5 million and then $600 in revenue and spent a total of $3,987,070. So that is pretty impressive, all things considered. I mean, let's face it, they started this Archewell Foundation in the midst of a global pandemic. That couldn't have been easy, but yet they soldiered on and they have been very successful. Hello, Shelly L, Terry H, Mama Bub. Okay, and then over here you can see the Obama. I was about to say the Obama. The Obama Foundation raised 5.5 million and spent 1.9 million, while the Clinton Foundation raised 10 million and spent 2.9 million in their first year of operation, according to the respective foundation report. With a passion for making a difference, Harry and Meghan's foundation has already awarded over $3 million in grants to over 40 organizations. That is impressive. Now, remember, this is a new foundation. And let me just say it, you are not looking at the president and first gentleman yet. You're not looking at the president and first gentleman. Yes, they do have a great deal of cachet with their, positions and roles and such. But whatever the case is, the Sussexes are flying high with their foundation, amongst other things. They have been incredibly successful. They are incredibly successful. although you wouldn't know it listening to the tabloid media, which I hope you don't, not really listening to them, but just kind of, tissing them, right? BW, thank you so much for the very generous super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. And thank you so much for being here. And happy Thursday to you. Greatly appreciate it. So I am going to go over here. I have a little bit more of that story I want to share with you guys. BW get 2 bells. Okay, 2 bells for BW. All right. Where did I leave off? Because I got the rest of it here. Oh no, not that one. Okay, here we are. I left off it already. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There we go. These grants focus on key areas like vaccine equity, relief centers, refugee resettlement, and building a better online world, which I think is so important. Of course, with all those other things, yes, but there's not enough people talking about online safety. So I think that is very key. Much better than the early years jazz that other one talks about. The Archewell Foundation follows the standard practice for organizations of its size with a 90-10 ratio of program services to administrative expenses. 90-10. If most organizations restricted their use of funds to just 10%, just imagine how much money would go into the hands of people that need it. I like that. Let's see. It's evident that Harry and Meghan are dedicated to making a lasting impact through their foundation. They've provided 12.66 million vaccine doses to help resettle the 174,497 refugees, served 50,000 meals to Hungary and let me to the hungry rather, and rescued some 7,468 individuals from Afghanistan. That is, of course, through the foundations. They provided a lot, right? Not saying they did it individually, but let's just say it. They have been on the forefront of a lot of these causes. Additionally, they've supported academic fellows, created a guide on positive masculinity, and built a play space in Texas after a tragic school shooting. Come on, Harry and Meghan. As we approach our third year at Archewell Foundation, we reflect on the depth of the experience. James Holt and Shauna Knapp, co-executive director of Archewell Foundation, said it has been rich in learning, with learning that is growth, inspiration, and action. We've made new partnerships and strengthened existing ones. We've rolled up our sleeves, opened our arms, and opened our hearts, creating connections through care and compassion in times of need and times of crisis. I like that. Let's see. And also it says, and we've seen the informative power of leading through this lens. We're excited to embark on the next chapter with a renewed spirit and an unwavering commitment to key issues which have an overwhelming ripple effect on our collective well-being. Okay, and so dovetailing off the impact that we've made during the startup phase, we will continue to build a better world online, work to restore trust in information, and above all, uplift communities online and offline, local and global. So there you go. That is what Archewell is doing. So now, I saw a couple of people on the interweb who didn't like the idea of pitting one foundation against the other, but competition is great for everyone. Although I don't think it's a competition. Everybody's just doing what they're doing. But let's face it, Harry and Meghan are not former presidents or first spouses. They are people who have done this their whole lives. Okay. I know that there have been others that have, done things when they were younger, but as we can see, clear evidence of Meghan's activism as a child, and of course Prince Harry, who learned so much from his mother, and he carries on her legacy. So there's no doubt when you see that after just a year of being full and running and operating away from that global pandemic, everything is so much more normal than it was. So they have a chance to spread their wings. And if they could do that in this short bit of time, just imagine what we'll be talking about a year from now. So they are walking the walk and talking the talk. Or is it the other way around? But either way, I am very, very proud of Harry and Meghan. I think they are doing their darndest to make sure that they, you know, handle their business. They are handling their business, as we like to say, handling their business. So, with that, let me take a look at a couple of your comments. And there are the logos. The Clinton Foundation obviously was first. And then comes the Obama Foundation, followed by Archewell, which doesn't actually bear their names, interestingly enough. It's not the Harry and Meghan Foundation or the Duke and Duchess of Sussex Foundation. So when people say, oh, they're just trying to use their influence from or their platform or whatever, or build their platform because of their titles, you can't see it with that logo, can you? Okay, so with that, let me take a look at some of your comments. Oh no, I'm going the wrong direction. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling. I want to see what you guys are saying. As a matter of fact, let me open up another screen so I can see what you guys are seeing. I didn't do that yet, but got it. Very cool. Got it. All right. Don't you love good news? I do. Let me see here. I see everybody saying hellos, and hellos. Okay. Anything for me? Nope, nope, nope. 10 months. Who's got 10 months? Iris Demonia? 10 months? Thank you so much, Iris. Thank you for hanging around with us here on Royal Sussex for 10 months. I love it. Okay. Yes. Thank you for the 10 months. I don't see it. Oh, you know what? That's because it's on the other screen. I really can't highlight that from here. So, but thank you very much. Okay. Anything? Nothing so far. Ruth Lopez says, Baron, here's the difference between Baldy and Harry. Baldy talks about his life mission without actually doing anything. Harry does the work before he talks about it. Yes, yes, that is so true. And he never aggrandizes himself. Yeah, that's very true, Ruth Lopez. And thank you for throwing that big word at me. I just barely got that out, but thank you so much. Let me see something here. Huh. Oh, sorry about that, you guys. 1 second. Got something on my glasses. Which side is it? I'm licking it. I don't know what it is. Looks like it's some type of sauce or something. I don't know. What did I eat earlier? Okay. Something's on my reading glasses. Oh, well. Let me see. Okay, that's better. Okay, you guys, I want to know what I made for dinner last night. It was so good. All right. So thank you so much, Ruth Lopez, and thank you for your comment. And Marcy Foreman says, Baron, I wish I could see Bulliam's face when he is informed of Harry and Meghan continuing successful ventures, incandescent with rage all day. Oh, I think he's pretty. I think he's kind of pleased with himself right now, but I'll explain that later. But you're right. Generally, he does have that resting uh, Cambridge well space. So, and yes, and then he has to look at Kate again with such disdain as per usual. Thank you so much for your comment. Let me see. What else do we have here? Shelly wants to say hi to a few people. There you go. Always glad to help out. Hello, Lorna Murray. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Judy. Okay. And Black Queen says, do you hear that derangers? I'm sorry, do you hear that derangers, Harry and Meghan, are for humanitarian actions, not empty, mumbling, pegging, cosplaying, PR stunts, all those stunts in there. Service is universal. Yes, it is. It is quite universal. Let me see here. Okay. Yes, competition is healthy. I mean, and of course, they're, you know, former presidents and first spouses. They are in a very, how do I put it, a very elite, exclusive club. And I tell you something, guys. I mentioned this before, and not that it really matters, but I'll just say it anyway. Just like the peerage books that they have, you know, Burke's Peerage and such. There is also editions of the peerage book for the United States, even though we don't have those type of aristocratic titles. But it's not really true when someone says, you know, that we don't have titles here in the United States. We do. Doctors, even nurses, and of course, you know, and some people put their titles before their names or after their names. But if you were ever a senator, most people are always going to call you Senator so and so, even after you retire from office. Same goes for congressman or whatever. So those are titles that most people keep for their entire lives. And just like oh, I can't say that. I don't want to get kicked off of the YouTube, but there there are certain titles people have, just like the captain of a ship. People will still call you captain, even if you've given up the sea long ago. So I'm going to keep that one to myself. Ooh, that was a good one too. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Thursday to you. I'm just going to move this bell a little bit further away because some people listening on headphones say that the bell is a bit piercing or jarring, and I certainly don't want to upset anyone. I know how that can be. My ears are very sensitive to certain sounds as I get older. Like, can you pay this bill? Can you pay that bill? Anytime I hear that, I get very sensitive when I hear that I'm behind on a bill. Or, oh man. Anyway, I'm just kidding, you guys. Thank you, Elaine Parker. I think Willie secretly wishes he had absolute power. I think Willie really believes he deserves to be king. Yes, he's probably singing that song just like Simba. Oh, I just can't wait. to be king. Teresa McDougall says, Baron, that's because Harry and Meghan are hardworking individuals who care about humanity and not selfish people. I agree with that. I agree with that. That is so true. They are the very model of universal service. That's why I'm glad that they smacked back at the palace when they made that little remark about service, as though you can't do service unless you're a member of the royal family. That is very, very pompous. Um, and that's what happens when you let courtiers with their inflated egos write little memos and comments and stuff for you. Things can get out of hand really fast. Thank you, Deidre Meinke. I am proud of them too. I'm sure Wicked William is furious. You know, he had better hope. Now, see, if the Sussexes were like that, believe me, the Sussexes could easily make an appearance or something like that and totally overshadow his little excursion he's on right now. And there, of course, are the Clintons, the Obamas, and the Sussexes. And, I feel like they're all equally dynamic people. And of course, running for president of the United States is something that involves the entire family. And that, involves a family being vetted, people snooping on your relatives and stuff. Nothing to the extent of the tabloid media, of course, but it is a very tough road to travel. And I would say that all three have, faced their hard times, and they are given a lot back in spite of that. So I am proud of all of them, but in particular the Sussexes for their brand of philanthropy. So let me see. I wonder why it's always a comparison with the Sussexes. Those two sweet, loving prince and princess get entertained by the whole world doing what's right for others. Very true, Eva. Yeah, yeah. The comparison thing, I think I think in this case is not as much a comparison as it is just amazement at how much they've achieved in a short period of time. For the Sussexes, it's more than just trying to get a good footing financially, but in terms of their relationship, they had to do a lot of talking. If you guys remember from the engagement interview, they had to do a lot of talking, a lot of late nights, a lot of exchanging of ideas. They had to set goals. They had to learn a lot about each other, and they had to do it all while Harry was still over there. Harry was still being observed by the tabloid media, so they had to do a lot under the noses of the media. And of course, as we found out with the family briefing, the way that they do against Harry and now both of them, they had to do a lot of things that other couples would have been free to do without that type of scrutiny. So they had a lot of catching up to do, and a lot was at stake. I mean, of course, Harry holding his breath for the day that he has to jump over these hurdles. He has to introduce her to the Queen. He has to introduce her to his father and that other person. All of those things. And then, as we found out, the worst of it was introducing her to his brother, who just did not want him to be happy. And then, of course, the introduction officially with the engagement interview, and on and on and on. I mean, he has to ask permission to get married. Well, that's the way it was. But now everything is different. So thank goodness for that. They are well clear of all of that madness, and I couldn't be more happy for them. So thank you, Harry and Meghan, for being such great examples. So yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about the thing of competition. Um, this is just something I think should be acknowledged and celebrated because them coming as far as they have with so much working against them is nothing less than extraordinary. At least after you leave the White House, you are away from all of that kind of scrutiny. But for the Sussexes, they've had to do all of their stuff in spite of the scrutiny. So um, good on them. And let's see, Eva follows with, I love the love they have, and I wish I had someone in my life, especially with love and respect for each other. My people dislike them for the wonderful. Oh, is it why people dislike them for the wonderful and helping the needy to put food on the table? Thank you for that, Eva. I hope I got that right. Okay. And I'm going to do some scrolling because it's almost been 30 minutes and I haven't even left this topic yet. So I'm going to do some scrolling. Hello, Shirley Slaughter. Good to see you here. Hello, Bear. Remember this: as long as the royal family stay in bed with the tabloids, they will never change. Only the people can change them. Stop reading their trashy tabloids. Yes, absolutely. Stop reading those trashy tabloids. Well, you know what, Shirley? I hate to sound so morbid, but you know their constituents, the constituents of the tabloids, are slowly dying out, just like the dinosaurs. They are going to be extinct someday, and I'll show you that with some of these statistics I have to share with you later. But thank you so much for your comment. And Joy Armour, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Thursday to you. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, let's move on. So, you guys, if there's anything I've ever wanted to have in life is peace. Also, one of my favorite people in life is peace. I'll explain. Oh my word, the Germans don't do things in halves. I can't wait to ride this train. Prince Harry is not a toy soldier. That's why they will put out all the stops for him and the veterans. 171 days to Invictus, Dusseldorf. Well, this was posted by Peace earlier. Peace is the Duchess, and she is a warrior for the cause. I will say that she is quite the warrior for the cause. Peace doesn't mind going into the trenches. And I actually saw Peace the first time when I was looking at a clip on, I think it was YouTube or was it on Twitter? And she was on some morning talk show talking about a very worthy cause, and that is she brings awareness to the sickle cell anemia, right? And of course, with there being so many people from the Caribbean in the UK, where sickle cell anemia is, pretty persistent in the Caribbean, um, I noticed that she was wearing a T-shirt that said, I think it said Team Sussex or Sussex Squad, and I'm like, I like her. I like her. I think I'm in love. She's on morning television in the UK wearing a Sussex Squad T-shirt. Now that is brave. That is definitely that warrior spirit. So good on her. So she will definitely be in Dusseldorf. She has taken a photograph with Prince Harry before, and even Omid Scobie. Oh, thank you so much. Let me pin that. Glad I caught that. There you go. Lydia is putting the link for the Time Magazine 100 Most Influential People. And you can vote just like they used to do in Chicago, as many times as you like. Start early, vote early, and vote often. So take a look here. There is, and by the way, the photo on the left is actually it's a video on the left was posted by Peace. And then, of course, I started thinking about Dusseldorf, so I added those two photos on the right and this photo. All of these, of course, are from before the Queen made her transition. If we all remember how everything was unfolding in Dusseldorf before the Queen. Anyway, not going to get into that. But also, Peace has posted this yesterday about the Nigerian team going to Colorado. And remember, I was saying, I hope they've experienced snow before. Well, take a look at today. Oh, wait a minute. That's another one from Peace. That's Peace, by the way. I don't know whether she took did she take, she may be in Dusseldorf right now. I really don't know. But she says, salute to Brigadier General Alfred Mars. Was it Marstaller? The brains behind the Invictus Games 23. Oh, okay. He told me last year that IG 23 in Dusseldorf will blow our socks off. That train is just the beginning. So I'm guessing she must be in Dusseldorf right now. I told you she's a warrior. Anyway, Peace is she's everything. So and so she posted this. This is what I wanted to share. Our boys have arrived in Colorado safely. Ikena would be trying adaptive skiing for the first time, and Dean heading off to do snowboarding. All the best, guys, and enjoy the experience. Invictus Endeavor, hashtag Team Nigeria. So there you go. I mentioned it yesterday that they were off to Colorado. And as you can see, Colorado doesn't disappoint. I think Colorado has about 3 weeks of summer, and the rest of it is, pretty much snow. So, no, it's not that bad, but they do get some pretty intense winters there, and they do last for quite some time. So, there you go. Joy and Morse says, Baron, did you see where Whoopi had some type of eye procedure and now I have bionic vision? She don't need glasses anymore, just passing on the news. I did not see that. That's interesting. Now, I hope they fix her mouth. If they could just do something about her mouth, that would definitely be a welcome improvement. Yeah, you know what, Rosalind Gaywood, I think that relationship with the tabloids is very codependent. They both feed off of each other for sure, but I don't think that they will be able to depend on keeping the tabloid media at bay, because aristocrat or not, royal family or not, they will turn on you. They will turn on you, and the same goes for. I think people take the British public for granted. I think people take the British, the king's subjects, if you will, for granted, assuming that they will never speak out or rebel. They've done it before. As a matter of fact, the Magna Carta, if that's any indication of what that country is capable of, I mean, people are not the pushovers that they make them out to be. But I think that the public has been sold on this idea that they work for us and they do our bidding. But I think most people have been so desensitized to those very posh images on television and in magazines, they don't really think of the real cost of it. But one of these days, that cost is going to really take notice. Like the Republic people, I'm surprised that they're not really nitpicking about the exorbitant cost of the royal family and how much money that they have amassed and that they spend. How did Prince Philip die with what was it, 30 million pounds in the bank? Where did he get 30 million pounds from? And I'm not assuming that he took it or anything, but I'm just saying, how does someone who doesn't pay a bill and doesn't really have a job, how do you get 30 million pounds? What is your job description and what is your salary? So, okay, so take this with a grain of salt. Um, Harry's Invictus Game Foundation makes TV presenter J.J. Abrams, the prince's ex-Marine pal, who was maimed by roadside bomb in Afghanistan, is new trustee. So they're saying that he's a trustee with the Invictus Games. And so I tried to find any way to collaborate that, but I could not find it. So that's why I say have a grain of salt with that, because I could not find it anyplace else. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but you know, that's good news. I mean, there's no shade there. And J.J. Abrams, when it comes to sacrificing for one's country, I saw a photo of him without his shirt on, and maimed is to put it mildly. I'm surprised the man is you know, still here. So maimed is just one way to put it, but his body has been ravaged by war, and it is a miracle that he's doing as well as he's doing. So, okay. And then right here, Senator Lydia Thorpe knocked to the ground in struggle with police at anti-trans rally in Cambria. If you guys remember Lydia Thorpe is the one who, when she was taking the oath to join I think it was the Senate, they described her as a senator, so I guess it was a Senate. But independent Senator Lydia Thorpe was pulled to the ground after attempting to storm the stage at a rally in Canberra. I always say Cambria, but is it Canberra? Cambria. Oh well. Held by anti-trans activist Kelly K. Keane, who also goes by the name of Posey Parker. Oh God. Anyway, Posey Parker. Draped in the Aboriginal flag, Thorpe struggled with police before she was stopped by them. She returned to the pro-trans rights rally to cheer. Pro-trans right protester led by Thorpe and Australian Greens Senator Janet Rice significantly outnumbered those supporters supporting, that is, Keane, the controversial British activist. Thorpe, who recently staged a protest attempting to block the Sydney Mardi Gras parade to protest Indigenous deaths in custody. Well, they don't say in custody of the police, huh? She said she had moved on, keen to protest homophobia and transphobia. I'm surprised they didn't. Well, this is the Guardian, but still, deaths in custody. And in custody of whom? The police. Isn't that something? Now, in the United States, I think in the Western industrialized world, in the English speaking world, nobody has more deaths in custody than American police, right? Here in the United States. But I didn't know that also happened to the Aboriginals or First Nation people. I think they're going by First Nation now. So I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. So that is interesting. Uh Speaking of interesting, wow, all All right, there's 1,228 people. So I'm looking at my what do you call this? StreamYard. It says there's 0 people watching right now. I mean, I know it's certainly not 0, but that is strange. Um, no worries. I mean, long as it's working. But if it starts getting weird later on, just remember I said that it's acting kind of weird. So, well, I tell you, those Lydias, they don't play, do they? Shirley Kearney says, Baron, I think the reason why people are not saying much because those folks may be depressed and trying focus on survival and trying not to lose it. Yeah, it's um, post-war Europe. Post-war Europe has been an unparalleled amount of abundance and growth, just like post-war America, unparalleled abundance and growth. And to see that that is winding back in the other direction has got to be really sad for people, especially when you think about young people who cannot afford to buy their first homes. And there was some guy who called one of the LBC radio shows one day, and I'm not sure who the radio host was. It may have been James O'Brien. It may have been someone else, but this person was an older guy saying that these young people don't want to buy a home unless they can have this and have that. And whoever the host was really dressed that caller down by explaining that the economy and the housing that they enjoyed post war is no longer available. And I think that the shortage of housing is deliberate because, let's face it, if you are a landlord anywhere, you are winning. And especially in the UK, if you're a landlord anywhere around London, you can name your own price. So, London, New York, San Francisco, there's a lot of really expensive markets when it comes to real estate. And so, people in a landlord in New York it has about as much power as a landlord in London. And it's really terrible because that means that people that are taking those low wage jobs have to travel that much further, or you almost certainly have to cohabitate with people. I don't know how I would survive that. That's very tough. So anyway, thank you so much, Shirley Kearney, for your comment. Okay, let me yes, more power to Lydia Thorpe. Let me show you another image of her. A few more images, that is. There she is when she was going to be sworn in. She put her fist in the air and referred to the queen as a colonizer. Lydia Thorpe refers to the queen as a colonizer while making oath in Senate. The First Nations Green Senator refers to the colonizing Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in her oath of allegiance before being interrupted by Senate President Sue Lines and made to restart. You're not a senator if you don't do it properly, another senator says. So she went in there and she just, showed absolute defiance. And then you can see another image of her wearing something more tribal. And I have to tell you, the last time I've seen an image like that, I think Nelson Mandela was going to court. If you guys recall, Nelson Mandela, when they gave him that trial or so-called trial, yes, you do. I mean, okay, I'm sorry. No, you don't, should I say. But when they had that so-called trial, Nelson Mandela decided not to show up as Nelson. He showed up as Madiba. So yeah, that is truly an act of pride and defiance when you show up in your tribal wear. Okay, Manello says, I pray that snow falls around all those places. Is it palaces? And only on roads where all royal guards would be marching on the day of the coronation. In May, I doubt it, but okay. Okay, so let's move on, you guys. So, right here, Prince Harry's hatchet job taints the whole royal family in the eyes of the public. Now, this is the Telegraph, not supposed to be a trolling, what do you call it, tabloid, but here we are. Monarchy approval ratings fall to the lowest level for 12 months after the publication of Spare, the Duke of Sussex's book. Good, good. The royal family approval rating has slumped to its lowest level for 12 months following the publication of the Duke of Sussex's memoir, Spare. The latest Ipsos poll suggests that all senior royals have been affected by the fallout. While the Prince of Wales remains the most popular royal, how in the world did that happen? His ratings has slipped by 10 percentage points to 59% since December. Take these polls with a bucket of salt, but when I talk about the monarchy's youth problem, it's this. 36% of adults 18 to 34 view them unfavorably versus 33% favorably. 47% favorability among adults 35 to 54 overall. Kate's favorability is below 50%. Now, if you guys recall, Kate was polling above Wilma, and now Kate has fallen below Wilma. When did that happen? Yes, I think they've lost their mojo, right? From Austin Powers. I think I've lost my mojo. I've lost my mojo. Yeah, well, they have lost their mojo. So, but this is really cool. There was a review from For Book Sales. Oh, no, I'm sorry, For Book Sakes. Yeah, that's For Book Sakes. All Things Bookish. It was one of the most searing images of the 20th century. Two young boys, two princes walking behind their mother's coffin as the world watched in sorrow and horror. As Princess Diana was laid to rest, billions wondered what William and Prince Harry must be thinking and feeling and how their lives would play out from that point on. For Harry, this is that story at last. And then, of course, blah, 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 blah. So I skipped all the way down to the last paragraph. I really enjoyed this book. I found it to be a very interesting read. I understand why a lot of people are opposed to it, but I do also think that was a huge overreaction to a lot of what Harry said in the book. I think that it's very important that if you're going to read the book, to go into it with an open mind. And if you're not going to read it, then to take what the media is spinning with a pinch of salt. After reading Spare, I noticed that there were a lot of instances where the media was taking small snippets completely out of context and making them sound completely different than what is actually in the book. The irony of that is that the media's twisting stories is sort of what Harry's point to begin with. And part of his reason for writing this book. He wanted to set the record straight and to tell his life in his own way. And that is exactly what he has achieved with this. So I give Spare a 5-star rating. So there you are, 5 stars for Spare. Now, I'm Denny. I'm 26 years old from England. I'm a mom, a book lover, and an artist. So there you go. That is who that is. I couldn't sort out who they were talking about, but I guess this website takes independent book reviews and showcase them from time to time or whatever. Never heard of the website before, but there you go. 5 stars for Prince Harry Spare. Now, I love this image right here. The best audio narrators on Audible in 2023 from Prince Harry to Stephen Fry. So this actually comes from Amazon. There you go. That comes from Amazon. And if you take a look here, Spare, Prince Harry's landmark autobiography, shot to #1 spot on bestsellers list when it was released in January, promising an unrivaled inside look into the royal family, his life, and his relationship with Meghan Markle. It's no surprise that the book has been the most popular audiobook on Audible so far in 2023. Narrated by Prince Harry, readers can expect a deep dive into his relationship with the British media, his role as a working royal, and his experience after the death of his mother, Leslie Manville. So there you go. Prince Harry's book is still doing incredibly well. Still doing incredibly well. And if you take a look here, this is from the Toronto Star, the best-selling books in Canada for the week ending March 22nd. Well, take a look there. The original nonfiction, Spare, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, Random House, Penguin, and God knows who else. And then if you go down to the bottom, it says, it's been a great period for the celebrity memoir. This week, Prince Harry, Matt Perry, and Pamela Anderson are joined, that is, by Paris Hilton, the uncanny businesswoman and tabloid magnate. Blah, 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 blah. So Prince Harry is still #1 in nonfiction in Canada. So very cool. Manello says, Baron, it's just my wish. We never know. The hand of God befalls and visits those with Diana's blood in their hands. Just a wish for weather to mess up Chuckles, especially the horse. Well, Manello, I tell you, when you pray, Royal Sussex turns into a tabernacle. Thank you so much for those very wise words. Those very, I guess I can say, holy words. Anastasia say, did she get the position by lying in bed with someone who is very powerful? Oh, okay, that one's not for me. All right, that sounds interesting. Tone deaf poverty safari PR stunt. That is how they describe that trip they took to that food bank. Remember that? And of course, as we know, the Cambridges, now the Welleses. I got to get used to the Welleses. You know, it's weird because they were using Wales, Prince Harry of Wales. But that, of course, was because his father was Prince of Wales. Now he's king, so now Harry is going by Sussex. I didn't know that the royals do all those name changes like that. I knew there was some, like the regnal names and such, but this takes on a whole nother dimension. Hold on, you guys. Give me a second so I can hydrate. Wunderbar. So anyway, as you guys know, they went to a food bank and didn't bring anything with them. How dare they? Well, they're royals. Like right here, Kate looked glam in a hot pink Hobbs London coat and matching Hobbs turtleneck that she paired with wide-leg navy pants. Although empty project, empty project, I think it was supposed to be project, empty visit. People need food, not a 55-minute photo op visit. Kate doesn't know what anyway, you guys, I did I remember now. I actually lifted that from someone's comment and I left it the way it was. She's talking about, as usual, these two are really missing the zeitgeist. So there you go. And then, of course, there's this. This is why their popularity is declining. I don't think it's really because of Harry. I think it's because of them showing up empty-handed. And then, of course, all of these PR stunts. The Prince and Princess of Wales' popularity has plunged after the publication of Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, I think it said. Prince William and Kate's popularity plunges after Spare. So that is an old thing I lifted about maybe a month or so ago. And yes, their popularity has been plunging. But the new poll, the very recent poll, shows exactly how low they have gone. Like right here, Prince William is accused of lacking real credibility on race since he did not protect Meghan Markle. Now, that was actually something that was online today. And then if you look there on the right side, the other day, he actually wrote a letter complaining about kids being racially abused. Well, that is why you have the one on the left side, because that is in response to what he said the other day. And this is not the first time that that has been pointed out, that you are speaking out about football and racism, as you did with the, what was it, the World Cup finals. And then here again, you're speaking out about football and racism when it comes to these kids, but you still have a sister-in-law who has been racially abused, and still you've said nothing. So, which royals do you like the most? Now, I want you guys to look at the red box there. Which 2 or 3 members of the royal family do you like the most? So I'm guessing with the 2 or 3, they were able to choose more than one person for this poll. And so William, much to my shock, has a 50% rating, which is still low. Charles, 32%. Catherine, 29%. Catherine, 29%. So let's assume that most people chose 3. Let's assume 2 or 3. Okay, the way they were able to make their choice, that easily gives them an opportunity to pad the numbers for another person. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, Charles has problems with the public, and that is very evident by this poll. But still, I would have thought Charles would have had about 50%. So, yes, Harry is 17%, Meghan 4%, Edward, Sophie, Reese, Jones, Countess of Wessex, King Charles' grandchildren. So if they're saying Sophie, this poll was obviously taken before they got their title upgrade. Hey, Mo Shannon. Don't even worry about the numbers for Harry and Meghan, because having a choice of 3, I think that is kind of a weird way to, I mean, that's why I put the red box around it. Which 2 or 3 members of the royal family do you like the most? Odd, isn't it? And so, all right, so there's been a hate campaign against the Sussexes, sure. And then also, there are some people who think that they are no longer members of the royal family. So that may be another reason why people did not vote as often or as much as they may have in the past. So there's a few things going on. But whatever the case is, I'm just really surprised that the future of the royal family, Catherine, is at 29%. None of these numbers look good for anybody. I guess William is coming out ahead of everybody. So Gosh, that's weird though. I've never seen a poll where they say which two or three. Why not just say two, or why not just say three? Weird, isn't it? So I don't know. I don't know. It's really not that important where the Sussexes are concerned, but very interesting for Charles and Kate and pretty much everybody for that matter. Like Anne, I thought Anne would have scored higher for a poll like this for some reason, since they're always saying she's the hardest working royal. I think that weird split is odd. Elaine Parker says, where was this poll taken? I believe it was Ipso. Let me see. Yeah, it says Ipso, January 2023. Oh, so this was before Spare. Well, maybe it was just after Spare. Spare came out on the 10th, but it's an Ipso poll and based on 1,001 British adults age 18 to 25. Let me see. I see 18 plus, and then I see 18 to 25. That's odd, isn't it? Well, that's what I see in the small print there. So, like I said, this is an odd poll. Um, I wouldn't feed too much into it. But take a look at this one. Now, this one is from Ipso, January 2023. And I put the red boxes because again I thought it was kind of interesting just the same. Should Prince Harry be invited to the king's coronation? As you may be aware, the coronation of Charles III is due to take place this year, Saturday, the 6th May. Do you think Prince Harry should be invited to the coronation or not? Well, look at that. Look at that. I love this. 18 to 34-year-olds, 74% absolutely. A very small percentage, like what is that, 10%, 11%? Or is it 9%? Yeah, I think no, it's 11%. Is it? Wait, yeah, I think it's 11% says they don't really know and don't care. But then you have 15% that says no. And even amongst all the people, you got 60%, and 35 to 54-year-olds, 65% say yes. And then, of course, 55 and older, which is deep royalist territory, they say no. So, again, this is an Ipsos from January. That may have changed significantly at this point. And I'm willing to wager you a lot of people are just exhausted of the topic as we are and don't really care one way or the other. But take it with a grain of salt. All right. And then as I went down the rabbit hole of polls, I found this one. I've never seen this one before, but check it out. For Americans who watched the Oprah Winfrey interview, boosted popularity of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Have you guys seen this one before? Take a look at there. Take a look. Now, this is for Americans now. Meghan's popularity pre-interview favorable was 45%. It went up to 67%. And 12 heard of and have no opinion. And of course, I'm sorry. And of course, Harry's popularity always strong, 69%. So 67 and 69%, pretty good, pretty good. For some reason, I have never seen this poll before. But of course, at the time, the Queen was still alive. And in the small print, it says, responses gathered February the 26th through March the 1st, 2021, amongst 2,200 U.S. adults, and March 9th, 2021, among 838 adults. Adults who watched the interview with margins of error of -2% and -3%, respectively. Figures may not add up to 100% due to rounding. So I never saw that one before. But yeah, interesting. You never hear of a poll where there was a more favorable opinion about the Sussexes from the Oprah Winfrey interview from Americans. I've never seen that printed anywhere. I don't know who did this poll and where it was, but yeah. I had to write and produce polls and surveys for my marketing class. The methodology needs to be examined and statistical credible for them to be believed, even from companies such as Ipsos. Yeah, I mean, Lorna Williams, I think that the way you pose a question has a lot to do with the outcome of the poll. Like here, where it says, which two or three? What? Which two or three? I've never seen that before in my life. Which two or three? Well, which is it? Do you want two or three? Okay. I know. I'm getting better with that actually. Okay, Canadians uninterested in King Charles' coronation, monarchy survey suggests. Montreal new polling results suggest Canadians are largely indifferent to King Charles III, and more than half believe his May 6th coronation is the right time for the country to reconsider its ties with the monarchy. The web survey of 1,544 adults released Tuesday, by market research firm Ledger indicates many Canadians are greeting the ascension of Charles to the throne with a shrug, like a uh, whatever. Only 12% of respondents said it was good news that Charles is now king. My God, only 12% compared to 14% who said it was bad news, and 67% who were indifferent. So there you go. Canada is not really into him. Well, you know what, guys? Maybe to strengthen ties with Canada, Charles should take his wife back over there to laugh at Indigenous people again. Maybe that will help. Maybe the way to bond with Canada, with Canadians, is to bring your wife, the Queen Consort, bring her over there so that they can laugh in the faces of Indigenous people, of First Nation people, if you will, and then go and shake their hands with your little fat sausage fingers. Take those country pride sausage fingers over there and shake hands with them. If Charles tried to shake hands with me, I would look at his hands and sing that Tennessee Pride song. Remember that sausage commercial? For real country sausage, the best you ever tried. Pick up a pound or two of Tennessee Pride. Remember that commercial? That's what I think of every time I look at Charles' fingers. For real country sausage, the best you ever had. Uh, they call the sausage Tennessee Pride. So yeah, if Charles is going to walk towards you with those big Tennessee Pride sausage fingers sticking out, of course you're going to decline. All right. And so this happened. Would you vote for him? Now, you guys, I know you guys. I was listening to Ann before, while she was still on. I want you guys to take notice of something. Please take notice of where they're standing. Does anybody recognize that location? Anyone? Do you guys recognize that location? That is inside of Westminster Abbey, but do you guys recognize that location? Because when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, they went there, didn't they? And when I say they went there, they truly went there. Now, as you can see, they do have crowns. They have those little toy crowns that they sell. But um, yes, it is at the altar, but even more sensitive than just being at the altar. Let me see. Westminster Abbey celestial floor. So where they're standing is a floor that is called the Cosmati pavement. That's what they call it, the Cosmati pavement. That floor, God only knows how old it is, but that floor is, it has been covered by, oh, thank you, Hazel Jones got it. Yeah, that floor has been covered by a carpet for years because of its very delicate state. And you're not supposed to walk on it. People only use that floor during ceremonies. They usually have it covered up because they don't want people stepping on it. And I was just shocked to see that they were actually stepping on that floor. Yeah, that was very interesting. Yep, I'm like, okay. I'm surprised they didn't get in trouble. Maybe they did. I don't know. But yeah, that stepping on that floor is a no-no. When people go to visit Westminster Abbey, they do not allow you to step on that floor. So I'm like, okay. Let me see how old is that floor. I want to see how old it is. Cosmati pavement. Let me see. It dates back. Let me see. It was laid down in 1268 by Henry III. Henry III, who started the rebuilding of Edward the Confessor's Abbey in the New Gothic style in 1245. Workmen came from Rome. So that's why it has an Italian name. What is it? Cosmati? That's why it has an Italian name. The workmen came from Rome with, let me see, with a man called Adoricus at their head. Adoricus at their head. The pavement belongs to the type of inlaid stone decoration known as Cosmati work. And after one of the families of craftsmen who specialize in it, the technique is called opus sectile or cut work. Opus sectile, that must be Latin. This differs from ancient Roman and earlier medieval mosaic work. So yeah, they don't really mean for people to walk on that floor. So I was just surprised. But yeah, when you go to Westminster Abbey, that floor is actually roped off. So they don't want people on it. So let me see. Well, let us take a look, Mo Shannon. I can't be sure, but let's do a comparison since you brought it up. Ooh, ooh. Well, I see just as many fine details, that's for sure. Oh, man. So there you go, you guys. During official services, they used that floor, but for a long time it was covered up. But I know they spent a lot of money and a lot of time to work on that floor. It was missing pieces. It also had, I believe, inlaid with some glass bead work or something like that. But the stone comes from all over the place. So there you go. That was a surprise. And then right here, French workers set to sabotage King Charles' historic state visit. An historic first state visit by King Charles III next week to France could be sabotaged by striking French workers. Charles and Queen Consort Camilla are due to arrive in Paris on Saturday for 4 days on the first leg of their royal tour that later takes in Germany. He's going to Germany. But openings, I mean, sorry, but ongoing strikes that have gripped the country might mean workers literally refuse to roll out the red carpet for the British monarch. So some of those workers may decide to avoid anything that has to do with this visit as a way to protest. And that story came from Euronews, but they're not the only ones talking about it. Take a look here. Now, I don't know what that says, but I believe it's saying, don't come, otherwise we're going to embarrass you. Jael, there you go. Yes, in France, they don't know where to hide him. Oh, man. What are they going to do with that imbecile? But yeah, so there you go, you guys. Let me see here. Pretty sure that floor was built from monies from those protesters' ancestors' free labor. I'm sure that had a lot to do with it too. Okay, so as I told you guys yesterday, remember I said that Charles the First tried to emulate Louis the 14th. Well, actually, I was wrong. It wasn't Charles the First. It was Charles the Second. You can take a look at Charles the Second there in that costume, and take a look at Louis the 14th, and you can see the very English king was trying very desperately to identify with the French kings, even using the fleur-de-lis. So you can see that very clearly with the hair and all that stuff. And so Charles, if he's going to wear a military uniform, he's not going to wear what you see there in the illustration. He's not going to wear stockings, which is good, because the last thing I want to do is see a 73-year-old man with childbearing hips and sausage fingers walking down the aisle of Westminster Abbey in a pair of knickers and flat shoes. Don't want to see that. The people in Paris are not too happy with their pensions having more years added on. The tampons might get the worst of the French. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting to see the reaction. Monarch, future monarch spare. The turn-up, I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure that that's supposed to be William. A turn-up today attended several charities that don't benefit from its patronage. Its marketing team posted photographs in a bid to arouse turnip lovers. Its spawn will want to do the same. All hail the turnips. Oh, man. And when I see that little leaf on top of that bulbous shape, I'm pretty sure that that's supposed to be William. Now, I don't know where this poll comes from. I searched in vain and could not find the original source, but it seems to be right in line with every other poll we looked at. No, it's not for me. And then if you take a look on the right, we're moving on. Jamaica Prime Minister Holness said in March of 2022. And then down there at the bottom, the Ministry of Legal Constitutional Affairs, Road to Republic. Everybody is saying we're moving on. So not a good time for the royals, I'm afraid. Now, this is a video. It is from the television show 9/11 Lone Star. Um, is it is this tiara woven in your scalp? Now let me set it up for you. I believe that there was a fight between two contestants, and anyway, the contestants were stuck together by a tiara. I don't know if it was stuck in the hair of both of them or what. I couldn't make it out, but it was a big bloody scene. And so when they go in to help them, he says, "Is this tiara woven into your scalp?" And she says, "Yes, I paid the stylist $285 to do it like Princess Meghan. So, yes." And I'm like, okay, people are catching on. Princess Meghan. I like that. I'll accept that. So, yeah, I'm going to have to try to find that episode maybe. I never watched that show, but I may watch it just for this, but it was just a very small part of the show. Maria Blackwell, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Thursday to you. Thank you so much for being here as well. Greatly appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, I think my computer is being a little shady today. Let me see. I'm going to do this. And okay. I'm going to have to open up another screen because, yeah, it's lagging. But you know what? That is my fault. When you're working with the StreamYard, if you are a constant content creator and you're working on the StreamYard, there you go, a constant. If you're a content creator and you're working on the StreamYard, it's always a good idea to restart your computer after you've set up everything. Before you go on, restart your computer, and that will prevent it from getting those little glitches like mine is doing right now. Okay, so I should listen to my own advice. Okay, again, thank you so much, Maria Blackwell. And let me see, Shelley L says, Baron, William looks like he wanted to fight the prime minister while being told Jamaica's out. Yeah, he started like gnashing his teeth, as they say. He started gnashing his teeth. Man, that trip was a disaster, wasn't it? That was a disaster. It's amazing how well, and you know, they love to say that Harry and Meghan were the ones who, well, you know how they try to blame Harry and Meghan for the Queen's suffering toward the end. You know what had the Queen all messed up?
Prince, Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Anytime you go on an all expense paid vacation to the Caribbean and come back with a bill for $335 million or $1 billion, you know you done messed up. You know you messed up when you go on vacation and come back with a bill for $335 billion. So that is one of the things that caused misery for the Queen toward the end. They always say the most important date on the Queen's calendar, Commonwealth Day. The most important legacy to the Queen, the Commonwealth. And who goes over there and sets off something like a Commonwealth nuclear weapon other than William the Terrible? Him and Kate went over there and they started doing the colonial cosplay, and what gets me is that they wouldn't stop. It was bad enough that it started off bad, but then you're in the back of a Range Rover. I mean, it just went from bad to worse. That's what gets me, is that they could see it wasn't going well and it wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop. They just kept doing stuff. I'm just like, if it's not working the first couple of days, why is you doing that? But they did it anyway. I mean, I got to say this much for them. They are consistent, but when you realize it's not going well, stop. Just stop. They had the state dinner, and then Kate goes running and romping around like Scarlett O'Hara in that big fluffy green dress off the shoulder and the white military uniform and everything. Stop doing that stuff. You didn't see any complaints about Harry and Meghan when they went to South Africa. And they were supposed to go to the Caribbean to help celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. It's almost difficult to remember how it started, but they went to the Caribbean in the name of the Queen's Jubilee. And how do you celebrate? Go in there looking like the mother of all colonizers. Oh no, that won't do it all. Speaking of William, you guys, so exclusive, Prince William stuns customers as he enjoys a great night having dinner at an LBGT restaurant, choosing a £7.50 dish during surprise trip to Poland. William was spotted in Warsaw, Butoro Bistro with Kensington Palace staff. Well, that doesn't surprise me. The owner said he ordered a pulled pork sandwich and fries that cost £7.50. Oh boy, I forgot it was up there because I covered it up because I was going to quiz you guys and ask you what sandwich did he choose, but I didn't realize it was on there twice. So yeah, anyway, since the hog is out the bag, of course he picked a pulled pork sandwich. Anybody could look at William and see from the look on his face, I'll have the pulled pork. Say it again. I'll have the pulled pork. What? Pulled pork! All right, all right. Did you just get out of prison or something? Calm down. But yeah, I'm not surprised that William chose the pulled pork sandwich. I mean, it just is so obviously pulled pork for him. I'm pretty sure that the people in the kitchen was taking bets. What you think he's going to order? Pulled pork? What do you say? Pulled pork? Yeah, pulled pork. All right. And what did he order? Pulled pork. I mean, there's just something about that face that screams pulled pork. So I am not surprised. And then, of course, yeah, that's right. Meghan's $20 salad, right, Little Mac? They went on and on about Meghan ordering a $20 salad. Well, there it is right there. That's the bistro where Prince William went out with the gang. Now, that being said, as you can see, there is a certain energy in that crowd that says, I know a great place in Poland. There is just something about that crowd that says, I know a little place around the corner, right? If William didn't suggest it himself. But there's just something about that crowd that says, I know a great place where you can get a pulled pork sandwich. So that's where they went for the pulled pork. Again, I'm not surprised. I make everything sound disgusting, don't I? Warsaw Bistro advertises itself as your queer space with comfort foods. While its logo is made up of the colors of the rainbow, It opened in November last year and promotes itself as an LBGQ, LGBTQ plus friendly place with a neon rainbow colored sign. Of course it does. And it just reminds me that there's always been a very colorful staff at the Kensington Palace, and that's another safe space is Kensington Palace. I'll just say that. That's another safe space. Nothing wrong with that. It's a safe space, and that's what it is. The close-up headshot of Will looks like young Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Well, I used to use that Mr. Burns all the time in place of William. I don't know why I chose that photo, but I mean, I could have chose any photo to go with that, and I just picked that one for some reason. Something about that photo said pulled pork. Anyway, something about that photo just said pulled pork, and for some reason that photo says that too. So there you go. Tell me more about your pulled pork sandwich. And what's weird about it is that Gene Wilder kind of looks like William, or William looks like Gene Wilder. But oh man, I could just imagine William sitting there. Tell me more about your pulled pork sandwich. What? The sandwich. Oh. Anyway, come with me and you'll see a place full of imagination. Wasn't that song from Willy Wonka? Come with me and you'll see a place full of pulled pork sandwiches. So anyway, you guys, before we drift down into a weird area, how it started, how it's going. Moral of the story, take a chance, take some risk, be true to yourself, and always say yes to paradise. Maria Blackwell is a new member of Royal Sussex. Thank you, Maria Blackwell, a new member of Royal Sussex. Thank you very much. And still a bargain at just $4.99. Now, remember, membership is very different from subscription. Being a subscriber is the easy part, but being a member means that for $4.99, you are part of a very exclusive club of people that can use those stickers that you see in the chats. Stacy Brockman, thank you so much. Perfect pull pork shadiness. Thank you. I'm glad you approve. And thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Thursday to you. But yeah. I know that was a bit much, wasn't it? So anyway, let's see. Oh yeah. And so Melissa Murray, to clarify, Facebook just reminded me that 7 years ago, I was appointed interim dean of the Berkeley Law in the midst of a major situation. I've forgotten the anniversary, but was prompted to reflect on how much I've learned from the experience and how far I've come. Now, if you guys don't know, Melissa Murray is actually a squatty. Yeah, she's a squatty. I'm just going to say she's a squatty. And let me tell you how I know it. Because Melissa Murray, by the way, congratulations, Melissa Murray, Professor Murray. It's hard to believe that you look at her, you think high school. How is that a college professor? I don't know. How do you get college professor from Melissa Murray. I get like sophomore, but that's okay. There you go. This is how we know she's a squatty. Take a look on the left. You can see during one of those television Skype or Zoom calls or whatever, Team Meghan and Harry. See that back there? That's over one shoulder. And then if you look at the other one there, oh, wait, it's hidden by my watermark. See the image of Meghan in the upper right? Well, that bookcase behind her, the person on television had actually asked her, I have to ask you, is that Meghan Markle over your shoulder? And sure enough, that's exactly who it was. So she is definitely Team Sussex. So that is Professor Melissa Murray. Congratulations. 7 years, Melissa Murray. Congratulations. Absolutely. Very cool. And right here, Kate Tinbarge, I've never heard of her before. And I wasn't following her on Twitter, but someone else decided to repost this or share it or whatever. I don't care if you like Meghan Markle or not. She's a victim of a smear campaign and a harassment campaign. The evidence is on social media for everyone to see. Your opinion of her Netflix series or her as a person is irrelevant. Whether a victim is likable doesn't matter. Say it again, it doesn't matter. There you go. So I thought that was pretty cool. And there was more. She didn't stop there. Let me see here. Every day, I see well-intentioned people conflate the harassment campaign against Meghan Markle with opinions. Having an opinion is fine. Having a negative opinion is also generally okay. What's not okay is defamation, bullying, lying, abusing, and harassing someone. That is not okay. The campaign against Meghan Markle is particularly egregious because her only crime is being disliked. But in general, because of the internet, we're able to stage outrageously disproportionate outrage and harassment campaigns against people, and the principle of that is unfair. Going back to and now I don't know I'm not sure who this person is. Now she says here, Haley Bieber? Haley Bieber crowd chanting. Is Haley Bieber a particular good person? I have no idea. I have no reason to think so. A crowd of people screaming violently about a woman that is completely separate phenomenon that is from whatever that woman supposedly did. Now, I don't know if that was like a autocorrect issue or what. I don't know who Haley Bieber is. Is that a person? I didn't look it up, Haley Bieber. Anyway, she says we've seen time and time again that the masses will falsely accuse a woman of doing something like being a liar and violently take it out on her in real life and online. There's a real life harassment of paparazzi, jeering, threats, being followed, being stalked, etc. Then there's the online harassment in the form of things like snarks, subreddits. Oh, is Snarks the site? Snark subreddits? Anyway, which, by the way, are often full of women. Yes, women do lead harassment campaigns against other women. People act like this is a negating factor or a comeback. It's just part of the problem. And that is true. A lot of these hate campaigns, as we have found out, what is that? Moshannon says, Haley Bieber is a stalker, Justin Bieber's racist stalker wife. Really? What? How come I didn't know about that? Even Big Mama knows about it and I don't. Okay. I had never heard. I'm going to have to look into that. Anyway, she goes on. The anti Meghan Markle subreddit and YouTube channels are, are a scary place. They're a thriving economy of hate and a building obsession around hate. For what? It's essentially made up reasons to sport. I'm sorry, it's sports a, I'm sorry, it's sport, it's leisure, it's a hobby, it's a job. Wow. So she's saying that the hate campaign is a sport, it's leisure, it's a hobby, and it's a job. And I guess for some people on the hate channels, that's exactly what it is. Another thing is, I want to note with the hatred toward Meghan Markle is that so much of it is based on her being biracial. Okay. Oh, there. Okay. She's saying someone wrote a piece about that. I'll go and check that out later. And then it goes on further to say, girl, I get your sentiment about hate toward her is irrational. It's not uh, just dislike because Meghan literally did nothing wrong, but breathe. She's outshone all the pasty royals. She's outshone all the pasty royals in England, and they've all been mad since. She literally is the sweetest, but y'all pander to hate so much. And lastly, she says, I agree. I think she seems like a really nice person. I have seen like 1% critique and 99% irrational hate, much of which is fueled by her being biracial. So, do you guys know who Kate Tin? Oh gosh, I'm messing up her name, but I don't know who she is. But I did see that on Twitter earlier, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I wanted to share it with you guys. But anyway, she has a blue check mark, so she must be somebody famous, right? Oh, really? Haley Bieber is Justin's spouse. Okay. Had no idea. I had never heard of her. I'm like, did she mean Holly Berry? And was that an autocorrect or something? Okay, so right here, this says who she is. Tech and culture reporter, NBC News. Banner by Chipster Made. Okay, related domestic abuse. Okay, so that's who she is. And that uh, quote up there at the top is what she uses as her background photo. So, yeah, that's who she is. She works for NBC. I like her. I like her a lot. Very cool, I think. Mm. So, anyway, you guys, thank you all so much. It has been an hour and 45 minutes. Seems like we've been on here longer, but I guess not. But thank you so much for joining us here at Royal Sussex. Thank you all for your very generous contributions. Greatly appreciated by Royal Sussex. And what else? Also, thank you to the moderators for always keeping this a safe space, and not just on the what you call it on the live chats, but sometimes you guys don't see some of the things that the moderators remove from the comments, but they can be pretty horrendous. Rose Hill is a new member of Royal Sussex. Thank you so much, Rose Hill. And BW says with a super chat, her father is a Trump supporter. The Baldwin brothers, I'm sorry, the Baldwin brother to Alex. Really? Oh, yes. I know which one is the Trump supporter. Is it, gosh, the one that always looks like he needs to take a bath? I forgot what his name is. You know, I have a list of people that I feel like Billy Baldwin, right? There's a list of people that I look at them and I'm like, They look like they need to take a bath. And Billy Baldwin always looks like he needs to take a bath. But yes, thank you very much. Is it Billy or is it the other brother? I think it's Billy. Billy looks like he needs to take a bath. There's a few people, I look at them and I'm just like, ugh. You know, usually it's an actor or a singer, but is it Stephen? Yes, that's it. Stephen Baldwin. Thank you. I couldn't remember his name. You're right, it's Stephen. He's the one that looks like he looks like a freak, really. He looks very freaky. I mean, in the intimate way, he looks very freaky, like anything's possible with him. I think it's called No Boundaries. Yeah, he looks like he has no boundaries. But anyway, so yes, thank you. It's Stephen Baldwin. Yeah, I love Alec Baldwin. I love Alec Baldwin. He's like one of my favorite actors. Funny guy. Very, very funny. Okay, so that's it, you guys. For those of you that are up way too late, go on now, get yourself some sleep while you can. Tomorrow will be here before you know it. And thank you all so much for joining us here at Royal Sussex. I'll be looking for a last comment for today. And in the meantime...
That's Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I'm sure that upset the Queen. All that other stuff they're talking about, they can go on with that. Okay. This is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real bad. I'm up in it real bad. This is Alex Murdoch, and I'm up in it real bad. I'm up in it real bad. Well, you know what? Did you guys hear about the new investigation in reference to the Alex Murdoch? Have you guys heard about that new investigation? Ooh, boy, now that's getting interesting, isn't it? Isn't that getting interesting? I'm like, wow, the whole family, huh? The whole family. I mean, really, Alex, I think if you had to keep a score, I'm not even going to say what I'm scoring, but Alex, 1, 2, 3, possibly 4. And then, of course, the one that was driving the boat, that's 1. And then, of course, there may be someone else in the family. So, wow, what an interesting story. And people thought in the lowlands there wasn't much going on in the low country. But if life is that dull in the low country, I'd hate to see how they carried on if they were in a big city or something like that. This is Alex Murdoch. Yeah, and I'm up in it real bad. I'm up in it real bad. Well, I can't. Well, I had to. The dispatch say, did you touch anything? Did you move them at all? Well, yeah, I had to check. And I'm up in it real bad. I'm still trying to figure out what up in it real bad means, but oh well. Wait, there you go. This is Prince William, and I'm at a restaurant, and I ordered a pork sandwich, and now I'm up in it real bad. I ordered a pulled pork sandwich, and now I'm up in it real bad. I'm up in it real bad. What did he have? Pulled pork, of course. Ah, that figures. Oh, man. Let me see here. And I am up in it real bad. Oh, there we go. I'll share this with you before I go.
Lightning round because I can't get it out of my mind. Melissa, to you first. I'm looking in the upper right hand behind you. Is that a giant picture of Meghan Markle? And I also want to know, on your pineapple pillow, what does it say?
So I think the pineapple pillow is a room raider pillow. And yes, that is a giant head of Meghan Markle.
That's fantastic. And to Jackie, you know the question coming.
How cool is that? Professor Melissa Murray. Yep. I would say so, Deidre Meinke. That is a very interesting case. That is a very interesting case. And rumors abound. Rumors were abound. So, what a very troubled, accident-prone family. That's all I can say. Oh, you guys, remember to go to the top of the chat because there's a link for the Time magazine. So you guys can vote for who you think should be the Time magazine most influential. So don't forget, you can go and vote. Let me see. Melissa Johnson said, I've come to the conclusion that Prince William is unhinged. Why is he copying everything that Meghan is doing? Yes, he's getting his wife to dress like her. His wife dyed her hair like her. This man is unwell. Well, now there may be some reasons for that. Remember, they used to watch Spare. Remember that. They used to watch Spare, so I could imagine that there may be something to that. Just maybe. I mean, they seem like they're into some pretty weird stuff. So, but yes, thank you so much for your comment. That is very, very interesting. So, with those loving glances that they give one another, right? The way they look so adoringly to each other is always a source of inspiration as far as I'm concerned. They just can't get enough of each other, right? Right. But of course, the gaslighting from the tabloids would make you think that there's another child on the way, but not likely. Oh, Mo Shannon, are you up in it real bad too? Are you up in it real bad? Because I'm up in it real bad. Okay. Oh, that's really nice. When I land in my country, Trinidad is warm. It warms my heart to hear the flight attendants say, "Welcome to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago." That's got to be lovely to hear that. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Oh, yes. You're right. Suits, not Spare. Although Willie went to Poland to attack the museum which has a fetching statue. Oh, I see those. There's some different statues, right? I gotta take a good look at those. I gotta take a good look. Or are those the ones that we saw on TV the other day? I mean, that came out the other day. Interesting. Oh, at 49%. Okay, yes. Did you guys hear that? Judy says Harry is at 49%. Vote some more. Vote some more. Vote some mo. Vote some mo. It rhymes. Vote some mo. Vote some mo. Thank you, Judy D. All right. Let me see here. Yes, they were both fans of Suits. Okay. Uh, up in it real bad in pulled pork. This is William, and I'm up in it real bad in pulled pork. A pulled pork sandwich. I don't know. It's some restaurant in Poland, and I'm up in it real bad. How do I know my staff wanted to go there? You can vote as often as you like, Cynthia Thorpe. You can just keep voting. Every time you think about it, just vote again and again and again and again. That's right. Just keep voting. Okay, you guys. Maybe I will do the last word of the day. And I heard them exclaim as they drove out of sight, I ordered a pork sandwich, and to all a good night. Let me see. They sent Will and Kate an eviction notice. You got to come get these creepy things out of here, or we're going to burn them. Oh, man. I'm imagining something like a suitcase full of, or a trunk full of all kind of gadgets and stuff. Or maybe you pull the book and the bookcase slides open and they have like a little fun room or something. I could imagine that. Okay, you guys. And with that, I am going to say goodnight. Love you guys. And I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger. And I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully earlier, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I know y'all could hear my chair squeaking. Believe me, if I was sitting on you, you'd squeak too, and howl and scream and everything else. Kay Davis, I love Ginger Avenger too. Ginger Avenger is just always so motivating. And of course, I also love the Madam Duchess. You know, that one is also very cool. I always feel, well, anyway, I'll show you. I mean, I just feel like I'm ready to do something real big when I see that. I'm like, yes, yes. Seemed like something big about to happen. Well, of course, if it's the Sussexes, it usually is. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. But the photos are so limited. But at least we have more since what is it, the docuseries. So, but yeah. Yeah, so yeah, there's better opportunity now. Good idea. I'm gonna have to work on that. All right. Well, thank you guys. I will see you tomorrow.